Miller has a fracture of his larynx, so minimum 2 weeks. So we'll just see how it goes from there. Obviously, he got that puck in the throat, so dangerous situation. But doing a lot better. He's around. He's here. Just that's more now. It's can't get hit again, obviously.
I mean, I felt it in myself. Like to hear that the idea of a fractured larynx, it sounds a bit shocking. So how are the emotions around supporting him and sort of like being around him?
Yeah, I mean, he's here. He's actually on a bike. He's around the guys. Talks a little quieter, but at the end of the day, no, he's upbeat. He's just the biggest thing is it's precaution now, just making sure that he can't go out and something happen, run into him, somebody runs into him, or something happens again. So it has to heal.
Colin Samberg, I think he took some PK rotation, so maybe he's getting closer. Is he ready?
I told him to stay out of the lanes, but that's first day with the white jersey. He had a conditioning skate yesterday. Got another one today, so he's getting close. We'll see. Haven't got the official green light on him, but he's getting real close. But not tonight.
Nashville coming in with probably a better record in its last 10 than overall this season. What are you expecting kind of from them feeling better about their game?
Yeah, we just saw them at the start of this road trip. For their road trip, obviously, they won in Vancouver and Calgary recently, and they got the top PK in the league. There's a lot of things there. You kind of see them, a little bit like last year where they got off to a slow start and kind of got rolling again. So they've been good in their last 10, like you mentioned, and another Central Division opponent. When we play these teams, there's always a little spice to them, and I think that it's no different. That it took us the third period the last time we played them. We scored a goal in the second, then got a couple in the third. But they're a tough out. You can't, like I mentioned, there's no easy opponents, and you have to make sure that we're at our best and making sure that we're making a hard night for them.
Scott, is there a common thread to the last 3 games that's gotten in the way of your success, things that you'd like to clean up or just steer back in the direction you like?
If you look at the analytics of the last Anaheim-Detroit game, we blew them out of the water, and we hit posts. We didn't, we didn't score at the times we needed to, and there was a lot of good things that happened. The Colorado game was its own little entity in the sense of all the travel and the 3 and 4s. But at the end of the day, if I'm nitpicking, probably off the rush, we got to make sure that against these teams that transition well, that we do a good job that way. And that's one thing Nashville will do. They'll try to get off and run. They'll blow zones with their forwards, so we're going to be good in that area. The last couple of games, like I mentioned, I thought. What we did 5-on-5. I know we gave up the power play goals in that Detroit game, but what we did 5-on-5 was a lot of good things, and we have to continue that.
You mentioned this morning that limiting rush chances is something is a point of emphasis for the second half. Is that something that's coming from the top, like from your coaching staff to the guys?
Yeah, well, it's like I've talked about in the past. That I think 3 weeks ago we were talking about our D-zone coverage. Prior to that, it might have been our forecheck, and now it's we kind of get into our rush situation where it's something that we have to pay attention to, and I think that it's all kind of when we're good at it, we limit what happens coming in our defensive side of the structure, and it's just making sure that we have numbers above and making sure that we're not getting caught, maybe trying to make one more play in the offensive zone or getting on the wrong side of people, and that's just something I think that has the last couple of games has been there. Obviously Colorado had a few, and then Anaheim as well. So it's just something that we got to clean up.
Obviously, it's been a busy stretch, Scott. You said 5 and 8. I mean, what's the biggest benefit to having the second day off, and what are sort of the indicators you look for as you try to get up to speed?
Yeah, you know what? Talking to the medical side, our strength coach, talking to the coaches, talking to our veterans. Christmas wasn't really much of a break. It's 3 days off, I know, but it's kind of a mad scramble whether you're traveling or whatever you're doing. But at the end of the day, then we went through the 5 and 8. I just didn't think we had much gas in the last 2, and we've never had a chance to kind of take 2 away. And like I mentioned before, there's times when you need to work on stuff in practice. You need to work on stuff in the weight room. You need to heal. And we've got a lot of bumps and bruises through this stretch where we just got, for us to continue to just jump out on the ice. To have this extra day off, I think was just mentally is good. Physically, obviously, is good. So we just have to make sure tonight after having it that we come out and are at our best.
What You know, the decision to flip the centers back to sort of the.
That has a little bit to do with the lineup. That's kind of has to do with sometimes the opposition you're facing.
I was talking to a couple of guys about how, despite the standings, you guys still sort of feel like a bit of an underdog. The outside noise doesn't take you as seriously maybe as it would some teams. That there's a real desire to prove them wrong. How does that resonate with you? Smallest market.
Yeah. Bugs me. It's been since the start of the year, so gotten used to it, I guess. We just have to keep doing what we do. It's just something I think that's happened for years. So we don't really care so much about what's going on outside around us. We're here. We've got we know how good of a hockey team we are. We know our fan base is right behind us. Our support is awesome here. We're the underdogs. If that's the case, then let's run with it. So far it's been, it keeps us kind of in place. And, it's too long of a year to get caught up in all that stuff, and we'll just move forward.
Why do you think it is that it's always that way here? Smallest market?
I don't know. Maybe it's how much coverage you get. I don't know. I'm not sure. It might be, there's bigger markets. Whatever it is. I don't know. It's always been that way, though. And at the end of the day, you just got to go out and prove people wrong.
Just to go back on Colin Miller for a second, I'm remembering a scenario, I think it was a Montreal Canadiens player years ago, took Trent McCleary, right? Was this anywhere near that seriousness of the situation?
No, I don't. That one closed up right away.
Right.
That didn't happen here. So.
Would Colin have gone to the hospital the other night, or
Yep.
it was all okay?
Yeah, he was here at the end of the game. He got X-rays, so then it was just making sure they get a specialist looked at him.
And just to one more on that, but the medical staff here, and we've seen in the playoffs last year, you had two very scary injuries with Brendan Dillon and Vlad Nemestikov, and obviously a situation like this, that's where the behind-the-scenes work, I imagine, of your medical staff is invaluable.
Oh, for sure. I've seen some scary things over my years, and having people in place that are ready to react to that, and there's a lot of things that have gone on in this game, and whether it's our sport or football or some other sport, when you have those people in place that are ready to react, and it certainly is, for the players, it's comforting, and you never take them for granted. These guys, they're specialists at what they do. We're special at what we do. The players are, and then those guys, they have something that's extremely important for us.
Just final one for me, but where are you on the net guard issue? Like, I don't know if a net guard would have made a difference in a case like that. I've seen mixed reports on how effective a net guard can be on a puck to the throat versus, say, a skate. But
yeah.
Would you like to see players maybe wearing them more than they are?
Well, I've kind of evolved through the no helmet thing, visors. Now, obviously, the situations that have happened in the last couple of years with the cuts, the socks, the wristbands, the gloves, all these things that are changing. I don't have a problem with it. I think that someday that's probably going to be just a standard part of the equipment. It's no different than, getting Randy Carlyle to put a helmet on. I don't know if that did any good anyways, but at the end of the day, it's players wearing visors. It's taken a while, and now it's pretty much almost all there. I don't think it's going to be any different with the neck guards.